Hello. How are
I'm
you?
so I'm good. I'm so sorry I had trouble with Zoom. Pray for me.
It
But
is
how are you
okay.
doing today?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I can't complain. Happy Palm Sunday.
Happy Palm Sunday.
Thank you. Yes, I can't wait for this conversation. I got to hear your song that you released in November of last year.
Mhm.
So definitely want to touch on that later in the interview. But I also want to talk about your book and everything. So, give the people that's watching a quick intro of who you are.
Okay, so I am your girl VCoop. Dime Piece in the VCoop to be exact. That comes from my real name, which is Venetia Nikkei. So I've graduated from college in 2015. I studied abroad where I received a certificate of marketing as well, where I did a 10-day in Vienna, Budapest, and Prague. I do events. I've done events. I do music. I'm now a new author. So pretty much I got my hands tied in everything that comes with entertainment, as well as working a 9-to-5 as well.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So let's start with this. What inspired you to get into music? Because, a lot of artists, they have different inspirations. I know, was there any family connections to music, or was there a certain artist that kind of drew you to, writing music, or was there a certain moment in your life?
Well, for me, it was my father and my grandmother. My grandmother would play the old school music and stuff like that, like Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass and stuff like that. And, she'd be like, you don't know what this is. And I just grew to love it. With my father, it was Tupac. Tupac was one of his favorites, Lauryn Hill, Biggie. So I love both of them equally, growing up, listening to them both just play it, all the time. And then, as I got older, it was Atlanta for me. T.I. in his earlier days with the I'm Serious album. Ludacris, how nobody can duplicate who he is, even if they try. Monica is my favorite artist of all time. So that's kind of what it is for me. And I don't even feel like I'm being biased because I'm from Atlanta. I more so just feel like I enjoy what they do and how they do it and who I feel like they are as human beings.
I love that. So yes, I could tell you definitely have studied music, different genres, which is dope because some artists don't know anything past trap music. So it's nice to talk to artists who's been briefed on all genres. So what would you call your genre personally? What would you say you kind of fit in?
I feel like it's hip hop soul for me, because when I started rapping, I was rapping like T.I. when I first started rapping. But
I love it.
Yeah, so as I got into myself, and I grew up with Young Thug as well, so I kind of being that the music industry has changed, to this auto-tune thing, I gave that a try as well, and just kind of trying to balance both. So I'm still in the area where I'm looking for my own sound that I love, because even right now I'm seeing that a lot of 90s rap is coming back, which is how I started. Right, we need it. So which is how I started. So I'm looking to touch back into that, but I also don't want to leave the younger crowd and only do that. So I definitely think it's hip hop soul. If I can leave my life on the track, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Okay. So tell us real quick about since this song is came out last year. You Are the One. Tell us what you were going through at that moment, because I liked it. It was definitely something, definitely had that soul in it, like you said. But what was it? A certain moment or something you were going through, or something you tell us about? Tell us about You Are the One.
Well, if you've seen the video, you will see that it's me, my mother, my grandmother, and my great grandmother. So I'm the fourth generation. And over time, as I watch each of them, we all put other people before we put ourselves first, or whatever. So over time, I realized that's like a generational curse of ours, and we kind of find ourselves falling behind. So I have a daughter, she's 9 years old, her name is Kaylin. And when I was leaving for the studio, she said, write a song about me. And that wasn't really my goal. I was like, if it come out like that, I'll do that. And I kind of just wanted to inspire like a younger generation that you are the one. And, we all are. We all have our own thing that we do and that we are great at. We just have to know and realize that. So yeah, before I did that song, I went through, a time frame. I feel like 2 years worth of time frame where I had to really like build confidence and realize who I am. I only knew who I was for other people, but I had to realize who I was for myself. So,
it's funny that you say that because I can definitely relate to that wholeheartedly. Me and my mom, especially, I feel like I say, I can relate to you. I feel like we've always kind of put others before ourselves, and we had to kind of grab the reins and kind of, put yourself first, figure out who you are. Like you say, outside of helping others, which is beautiful to help others, but you can get lost in that, you know what I'm saying? And then you can put yourself on the back burner and lose yourself, you know what I'm saying? And never, like you said, reach a certain point. So kudos to you for recognizing that and being strong enough to even partake in that journey, because it's not easy, you know what I'm saying? So at all, look. So, okay. So you told us about your musical inspirations. You told us the genre. Now, let's see. Okay, let me ask this. Let's just talk about your book real quick, because we got to talk about that. Because you were talking about your family, so we got to talk about that. So, God Walks With Me. What inspired that? Obviously, I already know, but to other people that are not, that are watching, what inspired that and how it relates with you in your life.
Okay. It's kind of like the same thing as far as for the song. But as I was writing the book, that song was the first thing that came about. Oh, I'm sorry. As I was writing the book. You're fine.
It's okay, girl. Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry.
No,
But
it's okay.
when I was going through that journey of how the song came about, the book was the first thing I felt like God was telling me to write about. I kind of like asked God for a story, and He was giving me one. And when He gave it to me, He was forcing me to write about it. So I have been writing it since 2018. It's a short pamphlet, as you can see, but it took me a very long time to write it, because I would write it and then I would be so in shock as far as how real it was for me, and those moments where I would go back in time and just really have to understand. Really, the book was separating me from a child to an adult. And right, so everything that those individuals taught me, I had to relearn as an adult. And I went through, what I felt like was the most traumatizing part of my life in the past 2 years, that helped me remember where my roots are, and then the tools that they gave me to help me, to help guide me through life.
I love that. So yes, it kind of pairs with the song. Okay. So like you said, you were kind of going through a spiritual journey of finding kind of like who was InAVeeCoop. I got you. So, all right. How has it been being a woman, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Let me start that over. How has it been being a woman in the music industry? Like, what experiences have you had? Tell us some good experiences. Tell us maybe not the not so good. Tell us what that's been like.
Well, for me in the very beginning, it was learning how to say no. And not only learning how to say no, it was learning how to take one. For me, I've put in so much work throughout the years. I didn't feel like nobody is capable or, is even supposed to tell me no,
Yeah.
But
I feel it.
Right. So I've learned how to accept that. I've learned how to take people back in when they come back around, just because I know how it feels to not know if you're supposed to be in this position right now, and then you come back around like maybe we should work together, and I'm like, all right, well, let's try it out, So that's more so what it was for me. That's just kind of as a human, though. As a woman, I think it comes down to owning your spot, having to understand that you are just as great as a male, or even a rapper, just as great as a singer, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it still goes back to confidence and understanding who I am as a person and understanding that I do have the strength that I feel like I don't have, so that's kind of what it was for me as a woman.
Wow. I love that. So at least you're strong enough. It's not an easy, I have some clients that are in the music industry, and it's not an easy industry to navigate at all. So I commend you, working a 9 to 5 and still putting the music, the work into the music. So shout out to you. And being strong enough to get past those no's, because those no's, they sting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We all go through them. But I'm glad that you're, saying this is for me, and I'm gonna push past that. And I always say it only makes you better. You know what I'm saying? Can't take it all like, because I used to be that person that was like, oh, they're attacking me. But I'm like, what can I learn from this situation? Okay, I can take something from it. You don't got to listen to the whole thing, but you can take something, right? So
exactly. Always listen.
Yep. So tell us, who have you collaborated with and who's on your bucket list to collaborate with?
Well, right now I'm more so like, I'm really focused on myself. I'm more so focused on building my family, because I'm realizing how many talented people are in my family that do music. We don't, to my knowledge, we don't have anyone who has really taken that height when it comes to the music industry. I've been in it the longest outside of my family, as far as I know. So I'm just really trying to encourage and bring us together as much as I possibly can. As I stated earlier, I grew up with Young Thug, and I know him as Lil Jeff. So I don't know him as much as Young Thug as I do as Lil Jeff. So, but we did do a song very early on, before, I don't know if the moment where Birdman handed him a chain. And we did a song like literally, so we did a song like literally right before that. His sister has been an amazing friend to me throughout the years. So I definitely have a relationship with them as far as how we grew up until now. So yeah, but that's who I have a collaboration with. As far as like anybody that you would know, or I don't really have anybody I'm interested in. Just focused on building my family right now. That's it.
Hey, at least you know.
Get my foot in.
That's respect. Yeah, I love it. So, what's next for you?
Okay. So for me, I am working on another song right now. I'm hoping around the same time this year I can drop another book, because I do have about 3 more stories that I would like to share, that I feel like will be just as an impact as God Walks With Me is. So that's pretty much what I got going on. I got a few ideas, apps that I want to create, that I'm working on currently as well. So I'm excited about those. Just understanding that I'm nowhere near like scientific, tech savvy when it comes to like coding and stuff like that. But I always have these ideas and I go for it. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing, and just doing something different and providing opportunities that I didn't have. That's my main thing. If I feel like it's opportunities that I didn't have, I want to create that and make it easier for others. So.
Wow. I love that. You always paint it. Look, the blessing about being someone who does put people, I'm not saying you put people before you, but having a loving heart is you always giving back, and it's always going to come back to you. So just remember that. Don't lose that. I needed that. Don't lose that. That's part of your gift. We have to accept our gifts. Right. So that's shout out to you for still, exploring your talents, but also, don't lose that. That's not everybody got that. Let me tell you, that's a gift.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. So I can't wait to see what's next for you. Tell them real quick before we go, like where they can follow you, as well as where they can find your book and your music.
Well, first, I would like to thank you for having me. I can't wait to see what your platform does. I can foresee it through my own eyes. But yes, I am InAVeeCoop. Dime Piece InAVeeCoop to be exact. You can follow me anywhere, music, social media, anything you could think of at InAVeeCoop. I'm looking forward to working with anyone, helping anyone. So just hit me up and let's collab.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, you heard it from the best. Thank you so much, InAVeeCoop, for coming on the platform. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right, now you be safe. Thank you.
You too.